Hey everybody, this is vocab entry number 13, a flipped lesson that you need to watch by Friday, January 17th. This will be vocab entry number 13, so you will have to make sure that you put it into your vocabulary notebook as vocab entry 13. The title of it is called Soil Stewardship. Now that's probably a new word for a lot of you, but stewardship is basically an act or someone whose job is to conserve or take care of the soil. So what we're going to look at is how can we take care of the soil, and then what happens when we don't. So title it Soil Stewardship. You don't need to write down what is in red, but you will need to write down everything else on the slides that come after this. One thing that we have to make sure that we do as good stewards of the soil is control erosion. And there's lots of different things we can do to make sure that we're controlling how much erosion. And now erosion is when the soil is transported from one place to another. We saw in the Dust Bowl, wind is an erosion force. Water is definitely an erosion force, okay? So I'm going to go through some examples of different ways you can control the amount of erosion you have to try to keep your soil in place. Especially as a farmer or someone who is looking to conserve the land somehow. So one is called contour plowing. This is basically where you plant crops around a curve rather than up and down a hill. All right, if you curve the land, it doesn't give the water a chance to dive straight down the hill. It actually has to slowly go around a curve as it goes down the hill. By slowing down the water and planting on a curve, you're going to limit the amount of, if you get a hard rain, the amount of soil that will get pushed away by the running rapids of the water. Another thing you can do is build a terrace. All right, these are wide ridges that go around a hill. Again, you see that we're trying to prevent water from rushing down the hill too fast. Okay? Rain is going to be the one thing that's out of your control as a farmer and someone who's trying to conserve or protect the soil. So you have to do some things like contour plow and even build these wide ridges of terraces that sort of slow the movement of water. If you do get a hard rain, it's not going to wash all your crops completely off your farm. All right, another simple one is called a windbreak. This is where they plant rows of trees between fields. You don't want just field after field with no trees between it. Basically, it slows down the wind and prevents soil from blowing. Okay, so the first two were to prevent water from taking your soil. This one is to help prevent the wind from blowing it. We saw in the Dust Bowl that they were just plowing field after field after field, and what ended up happening is a strong gust of wind comes up, and that's what created all of those dust storms. There was no sort of buffer of trees to help slow that wind down. Okay, keep forest and grass areas if you're a farmer. All right, don't plow everything up. Don't take all the grass. We saw that grass saves us all. It's what holds our planet together. It's essential for animals and crops and good, healthy soil. So keep some forest areas, keep some trees and some grassy areas on your farm to help conserve your soil. All right, the last one is crop rotation. All right, this is something simple that farmers can do, and it's all about planning. All right, crop rotation is not planting the same crop in the same field year after year. All right, that just drains the nutrients from your particular field. Okay, so what that would look like, if this is my field and I'm a farmer, maybe in the first year of harvesting I plant corn, and then maybe my second year I plant beans, because these two plants are going to need different nutrients, different sunlight, that sort of thing to harvest. In year 3, I most likely will leave that blank. I won't grow anything. I'll let the nutrients replenish, let some grass grow, keep that soil in place, and make it healthy again. And then you can see in year 4, switch it up and plant a different crop, if you will. And if you're a farmer that has, 8 different acres of land, you can rotate these crops pretty easily through those 8 acres and still make money. Last but not least is overgrazing. You want to avoid overgrazing. If you are a farm that not only has crops, you're most likely going to have animals, okay? You don't want to overgraze and have those animals feeding on the same field all the time or feeding a lot on that field. There are other means that you can do to feed your animals. You don't want to let all your animals eat like pigs. So this is vocab entry 13. Again, you need to have this vocab entry completed by the time you come to class on the 17th.